There wasn't a time when I could even think about it and not break down.
Living quietly in rural Alberta, after spending much of his life behind bars for various crimes, including robberies, fraud, and assault, this man hopes he can make a fresh start. We can't identify him because of a court-ordered publication ban, but we can tell you about him. His 50th birthday is approaching, and he still struggles with a secret he kept for decades.
I was scared. I was scared that other people were going to know what happened.
Like other alleged victims of Anglican priest Gordon Dominey, he was too ashamed to tell anyone. That changed in 2015. In prison at the time, he and a fellow inmate decided to come forward. Detectives announced initial charges and released photos of Dominey. The number of complainants snowballed. Allegations the priest abused them when they were teen inmates at the youth jail. Testifying at the preliminary hearing, their evidence revealed similarities. Many said the abuse took place in the jail's pool or nearby change rooms, sometimes behind a closed office door. A former staff member testified that the priest had free reign at the facility. The trial was scheduled, but then Dominey died.
It tore me apart. I couldn't focus. I couldn't, it was almost as bad as telling somebody and them not believing you, and just shrugging it off.
While many of the men got out of youth jail and moved on with their lives, a handful have been in and out of custody. Some are still there, and none of them have any financial means. Now, more than a dozen of the men have pinned hopes for justice on a class action lawsuit against the Anglican Diocese of Edmonton and the province.
They're all struggling and have been struggling since that period of time, since that incident, and in many respects because of that incident.
It's been 3 years since launching the effort. It's been expensive and time-consuming. Their lawyer says the province and church have pulled out all the stops to delay moving forward.
It's disappointing. It puts marginalized folks who have no money in a very difficult position to hold people accountable for significant harms that they cause them. It's for my clients. For my clients, some of them are losing hope.
In a statement, a spokesperson for Alberta's Ministry of Justice declined to comment on ongoing litigation. An interview request with Edmonton Anglican Bishop Jane Alexander was also declined. It's not the only case of this type. In Ontario, a class action lawsuit is well underway by the victims of Ralph Rowe, an ex-Anglican priest and Boy Scout leader believed to have assaulted as many as 500 victims. In Alberta, this expert says the complainants' own involvement with the criminal justice system means they face stigma and challenges to their credibility.
They're already laced with this. They're laced with being an inmate, being part of the criminal justice system. They're an offender. How do we believe someone like that? And now they have to kind of defy that. And trying to seek help for that can be incredibly challenging if you're still in that system.
Unable to afford sustained access to treatment, financial compensation could make a huge difference.
I'd be able to help my kids. I'd be able to build the things that I want to build and do something good with my life and go out so that people look at me and say, this man, even though everything that he faced, all of the obstacles and stuff, he turned it around.
As he builds a life with his fiancée, he wants to move past what happened. He's not sure he will ever see justice, but he'll keep hoping one day he'll get the closure he needs. Paige Parsons, CBC News, Edmonton.